Greeting, gorgeous beings of light from the spectacular Gold Coast hinterland in Queensland, Australia. My name is Elmara and I'm coming to you with the 100 Miracles in 100 Days project and the Fifth Dimension Activation and Effortless Manifesting Quickie. Let's start by taking a long, slow, deep breath in. Or a soft, gentle breath in, but just follow the breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do this several times. When you feel your awareness is suitably within, please return your breath to breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. While I share with you miracle number 62, which is a continuation of my story about Jack, my beautiful, beautiful little dog that I had for a number of years that came to me and was a complete blessing in the time he was alive and then after he passed as well. And that's what I really want to talk about with you today. The bit that I didn't share yesterday or the day before that actually was that when we first went to the Melbourne Lost Dogs home, we went to get that dog for Johanna, my landlord of 8 years. He was just talking about stealing the dog from 2 doors down. And when we first got there, she wanted a girl dog because her last dog had been a little girl. And she liked Jack, but he was a boy. And the dog that they'd put aside for her was too big. And I loved Jack immediately. And I knew he would end up being my dog. I thought it would be when she passed on. But as it turns out, she took the dog back after 3 months and I went and got him. That's a whole other story of where I found the money to go get him and all that, how I found the money. But to keep this one short, because I really want to talk about what happened when he passed over. And so I had Jack for many years. He was the love of my life. I have placed the video of him that was taken 10 days before he passed. Source said to me if I wanted to remember this joyful part of Jack, then to take this video. So about just only a week before that, I was having this discussion with Source and they told me that I needed to surrender. And I was like cranky. I was like, what the freaking heck else do I need to surrender? I've surrendered everything. You've got everything. You've had my whole freaking life I've been serving humanity. Throwing a tantrum as usual. And they just said to me, what about Jack? And I said, what about him? And they went, we've been telling you for a couple of years, we need Jack over here to teach you some stuff. I said, and I've been telling you for a couple of years, find another way to do that. Anyway, so I said, okay, if I surrender my dog and nothing changes, that's it. I'm going on strike. I'm going to go get a job at Coles and be a checkout chick. I'm never going to work for Source again, which is what I used to always threaten when I got mad with them. Anyway, about a week later, they say to me, take a video of this. 10 days after I took that video, Jack had passed. Now, what's interesting was that he had a tick up his bottom. And that must have been Source doing that because they knew I wouldn't be able to find it. Yeah, and I even went to a homeopath and got special medicine. They're very good at saving animals. Homeopaths, if you ever get tick poisoning, rather than taking it to a vet, my recommendation is to take it to a homeopath because they have much better medicine that saves them much faster. But anyway, Jack passed. So I got the medicine, but the guy was a bit weird. Anyway, Jack looked so bright that he thought that he hadn't done all his throwing up of the white frothy stuff, which is the first thing, and he had already done that. But all my healing had kept him bright. But the second lot of medicine you give them, he kept saying, no, don't give it to them, don't bring me again. Anyway, Jack passed at 1 a.m. the next morning. I remember being devastated that the medicine that could have saved him was, just 3 feet away in my bag at the end of my bed. But the bottom line was that it was his time to go. It had been his time to go for a couple of years, and I had held on to him. Anyway, so he passes, and I'm devastated, and I'm howling and carrying on. But the next day, I go into this deep, deep meditation, just because my grief was so full on. And I just heard Jack say, come with me, come with me. And so I follow Jack up through the layers, and he takes me to a place called the Galactic Diamond Federation. He explained that the Galactic Diamond Federation had 22 levels, but those levels were all equal. He told me that he was on the 13th level of unconditional love, but he said he was no higher or lower than level 22 or level 21. Each level had something to offer humanity. And I was just in such a state of bliss. I was in such a state of bliss that when I took him to bury him, prior to him passing away, he used to always say to me, hey, can you ask Richard and Leslie, can they bury me under that big tree in their paddock? And I go, I'm not going to ask them that. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to ask them that. And he would continue to push. Why don't you ask Leslie and Richard, can I get buried under that great big tree? So between my place and Leslie and Richard's place was a paddock, and there was this gorgeous, gorgeous old big tree in the paddock. And if I took Jack out to do the washing, Jack would be on his belly trying to crawl across and scoot across that paddock through the cows and get to Leslie and Richards because he loved them so much. Jack is buried under that tree now. And even when I took Jack to bury him, I was just in a state of euphoric bliss because I knew where he was and I knew I could contact him at any time. And although I already knew the spirit was eternal and had already had those experiences with other animals, other pets that had passed on, this was kind of something was really concrete about this. And I remember hearing spirit say, see, now you can teach people this. Jack couldn't teach people this. We couldn't take you home and get Jack to go out and teach this wonderful information to the world. So that's what really happened when Jack passed. I want you to know that your animals and your loved ones, when they pass over, they're angels you know by name on the other side. I see so many people devastated when their loved ones pass. And there's a common belief that you should grieve and miss them and all of that. You only do that because you think you can't see them ever again. Imagine if you knew that you could connect to their spirit as they're crossing over and go with them wherever they go and know that you can go there. You're not stuffing your grief. I heard someone say to me, I don't want to stuff my grief down inside of me. That's just going to be detrimental to me. No, I think hanging on to that grief is going to be more detrimental to you. But sure, be sad if you miss them, but you're only sad because you think that your relationship with them is gone and you're never going to see them again until you cross over, which is not the truth. And especially if you are a gifted spiritual person, you should be able to take yourself there at any time. Any time you should be able to take yourself there. Take a big breath in for me. Some of you are going to find that really challenging, I know. But the next time a loved one, human or animal, passes over, just try connecting into their soul, getting not in too much grief, because when you're in that low frequency grief, it's hard for you to hear them. But if you stay in a high frequency connected to source, very, very easy to follow them home, very easy. And if you're, excuse me, if you've not listened to the one about when my dad passed over and took 1,075 souls on, I think it's miracle number 44 or 45 or 46, somewhere around there. That is just such a powerful video. It's powerful because at the point where the 1,075th soul is home, I'm fully connected to Source in that video. It's quite remarkable, and if you just stay present, all this gorgeous energy from the other side flows into you. So yeah, so it's up to you. You can do whatever, but these are all things, we knew all this until religion stepped in, created a heaven and a hell, created a you're off to hell if you misbehave and all that kind of crap. So you can believe that old outmoded way of thinking, but if you're an awake and an aware human being who's part of the new fifth dimension and beyond world that is awakening now, then staying high in your vibration and still loving your loved ones is something that is a must, because all that grief just lowers your own frequency, but also lowers the frequency of Earth. Just breathe for me, please. Where we know better, we do better. So don't feel guilty about what you've done in the past. Just change it now. And you can still even contact people who have been gone a long time if you want to. Their energy and their spirit is still around. It just helps if you do it when they cross over, because it's all just you, and you still have a deep, deep connection to their soul. If you try to do it 20 years later, unless you can master up a really big connection to their soul, it's a bit harder to do, that's all. It takes a bit more work. Alrighty. Take a deep breath in. Let out any grief that might have brought up telling you that. And just so you know, my life did get like tons and tons better shortly after all that happened. So I wouldn't have been able to take the next steps on my journey with a dog. So interesting. Alrighty. Just take a big breath in for me, please. And if you would like to know how to do all that, if you'd like to know how to be that powerful, if you'd like to move out of healing and fixing people and move into awakening the magnificence of who they truly are, and awakening people's unique soul gifts and all that really groovy stuff that's waking up on Earth, and connecting to the fifth dimension and becoming a fifth dimension activator, please check out my notes below. Where you can become a powerful certified fifth dimension activator and healer. The training, I've just worked out that the training is going to now be on the 1st of April, because these 100 Miracles in 100 Days don't even finish till the 24th of March. And I spend hours and hours every morning meditating for them. I just won't be able to do the two of them at once. So a week later we'll start, or around a week later, but we've set the date for the 1st at this point, 1st of April, so which will be the 31st of March in USA. We're just waiting to all the people get in so we can pick a date and a time that works for everybody. So just breathe for me, please. That's why it's a beta program. And we're just going to connect you to the fifth dimension, the first step of my fifth dimension. I want you to imagine you're standing barefoot on Mother Earth. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, and on your next breath in, breathe in and raise your hands up and point them to the sky, and as you breathe out, tie your energy around the sun. Breathe in and bring all that source light from the sun down through your crown. Breathe it out into your 100 trillion cells and 100 trillion telomeres. And breathe the last 5% down and connect it into Earth. Bring 100% energy from the Earth back up. Breathe 95% of that out into your body. Take the last 5% up to the sun. Breathe in. Bring all that source light from the sun down. Breathe it out into your body, last 5% down into the earth. Breathe in. Breathe out up to the sun. You're just going to do that up-down movement. Up and down, and bring yourself into alignment with the earth and the sun. It will line up all your meridian lines that thousands of years ago used to go from the center of earth to the sun, but now most people's meridian lines are screwed up from their head to their toe. That in itself, if you just did that and you never came and did my training, it would bring you into alignment. You would start to have better days, you would start manifesting stuff, and you just need to go to my website and you'll find testimonials from a lady called Jackie who had no money, and within 30 days her life had changed. So just breathe for me, please. Of doing a consistent, she actually did it for about 14 days and stopped, and then was back to being miserable. Then she committed to doing it, and I don't think it took 30 days. When she began, I think it was about the 20th, and by the 10th of, so about 20 days in, 10th of December, she'd manifested a huge sum of money, which is, I'm so thrilled for her, and I know that's what's possible for everyone. So it's at that point when you're in alignment that it becomes effortless. You just ask for what you want and let it go. God, in this point where you're connected, how can I manifest? How can I manifest a fit and healthy body? How can I manifest my soulmate? How can I manifest a pay rise at work? How can I manifest a new job, new life? How can I manifest $10,000 this month? Whatever it is you want, you've just got to ask and let it go, and don't hang around. Tell God how to suck eggs, which we all do, including myself in the past. So just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. And I'm just going to send you a blast of fifth dimension energy. Just breathe it in. Breathe it in through your nose into wherever it is you want to. So you can breathe it into your body if you've got a sore arm or a sore head or a sore back. Or you can breathe it in and then breathe it out into your job if you're looking for a pay rise, or breathe it out into the universe if you're looking for a new job. Just breathe. In through the nose and out through the nose, unless you're releasing, which would be yawning, burping, sneezing, farting, etc. Hiccuping. They all mean something specific. Okay. Okay, you gorgeous beings of light. I wish you a truly blessed day. May it be filled with much love, joy, bliss and abundance of everything you require. Love, love, love. I'll see you tomorrow.